Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. This is Kevin Moon from God's Country. It's time for your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's weather. Now, here's my friend, Dr. Don.
Howdy-ho, East Alabama and West Georgia. You've made it to your Friday, and coming up in this morning's edition of your primetime forecast, we'll let you know where Ian is this morning. And, we're going to give you a weather forecast that you are not going to believe, so you're going to want to hang around for that. We'll let you know if you need to carry your raincoats with you to the ball games tonight. All coming up on this morning's edition of your primetime forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. Don't forget, the 14th annual Fall on Main Street has been rescheduled. They're now going to run the Fall on Main Street October 29th in downtown Roanoke. It was scheduled for tomorrow, but due to the possibilities of some wind and rain because of Hurricane Ian, they decided best idea might be to go to the rain date, and that's October 29. So that's when we're going to all be in downtown Roanoke. Going to have a great time, so I hope you make your plans to be there October 29th for Fall on Main in downtown Roanoke. Don't forget, Jamie Dukes is your local Alpha agent. Give Jamie a call or click that link at the top of this video for a cost-free, no-obligation insurance quote from Alpha Insurance Agent Jamie Dukas. You could win some great prizes. And, hey, we got a special coming up for you tomorrow morning. Jamie's going to join me early tomorrow morning. We are going to do a live broadcast from Whispering Pines at Beck Farms wedding venue. So that's going to be coming up tomorrow morning, and we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to tell you all about Whispering Pines. So make sure that you join us tomorrow morning, probably sometime around 8 o'clock. We'll let you know. I'll send a post out as soon as we figure out exactly what time we're going to do that in the morning. All right, so let's talk weather this morning, and we're going to start, of course, with the tropics. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, and then click that little bell so that when we go live for severe weather, you'll get that push notification. So Ian is still sitting about a couple of hundred miles offshore out in the Atlantic and is headed to the north. At 5 a.m. this morning, the center was 30.8 north or 79.1 west. Maximum sustained winds are 85 miles per hour. Movement is to the north-northeast at around 9 miles per hour. And we're expecting landfall somewhere between Charleston, South Carolina, and Myrtle Beach. Probably about halfway between Charleston and Myrtle Beach. Now, that's good news for Charleston because one of the tracks had it coming in just southwest of Charleston. That would have been disastrous. So still not a good scenario, but much better than what it was about 24 hours ago for Charleston. Now the heaviest of the weather will probably be somewhere up there around Myrtle Beach or maybe even on up into North Carolina. That's where some of the heavier convection's coming on shore this morning. But the storm is far enough to the east now to where it's really not going to be that big a deal for Georgia, and it won't be a deal at all for Alabama. We will see some gusty winds along the eastern side of the state of Georgia, and even up here in the northeast Georgia mountains. In the higher elevations, we are getting some pretty good wind gust up here this morning, but so far it hasn't caused a problem. We've had winds gusting as high as 30 miles per hour on my weather station here on the north-facing side of Waka Mountain in southwest White County, Georgia. But then I've checked some other weather gauges back off to our west, and it calms down considerably by the time you get into East Alabama and West Georgia. So this storm will continue moving on off to the north and become a depression by tomorrow afternoon up there in extreme northern North Carolina or southwestern Virginia, and then we will say goodbye to Ian. I have to tell you that the medium range models are already picking up on the possibility of another system down in the Caribbean by next weekend. So hurricane season is not over. As a matter of fact, there's some discussion out there now from some of the scientists that are suggesting that hurricane season may go to Thanksgiving this year. Normally, we're done by the end of October. But remember, historically, some of our worst hurricanes in Alabama and Georgia have been in the month of October. So just because we're getting late in the season doesn't mean it's done yet. We've still got a ways to go. Current conditions at the East Alabama Bee Company in 5 Points, Alabama. 58 degrees out there this morning. Nice start to your Friday. 72 was our high yesterday, about as good as you can get. If we could have relaxed the wind just a little bit yesterday, it would have been perfect. We have fair skies. The wind is out of the north-northeast at 4, gusting to 11. Humidity is 68%. The barometric pressure, 30.01. No rain the past 24 hours. Sunrise this morning at 6:33. Sun sets this evening at 6:28 p.m. So we expect to go to 76 in Roanoke this afternoon, 75 in Ashland, 76 up in Lineville. Wedowee will top out at 75. Ranburn goes to 74. 77 down in Dadeville, and Tallahassee will be the hot spot. They'll be basking in the sunlight at 80 degrees this afternoon. Here's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. A little breezy today and the first part of tomorrow. Temperatures hanging out in the mid-70s. I think by tomorrow afternoon the wind will relax and we just go back to beautiful sunny skies. And hey, that's going to continue all week, even into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. We are awfully dry across East Alabama, West Georgia, even up here in Northeast Georgia. We need some rain awfully bad, but I don't see that happening anytime, at least between now and Thursday of next week. Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar this morning showing Ian there off the South Carolina coast. Ian is moving to the northeast at the moment, but we expect a turn back to the north and eventually back to the northwest as Ian approaches the South Carolina coast. Again, somewhere north of Charleston and south of Myrtle Beach. And then the storm is expected to continue across the eastern side of South Carolina, eventually up into central North Carolina, and then coming to its final resting spot up there in Virginia sometime on Sunday. If you're going to be headed up I-95 or anywhere north or east of Columbia, South Carolina, you could expect some pretty nasty weather today and even into tonight and tomorrow. But back to the west, everything looks good, other than some gusty winds along the Georgia-South Carolina line. And, of course, across East Alabama and West Georgia, it is high and dry this morning. Don't forget to follow us over on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at DrDonWX.com, where you can click that donate button and help support us. If you're on Facebook, we encourage you to send us those Facebook stars. That's a great way to support us. And be sure you share Dr. Don's Weather with all of your friends and ask your friends to share with their friends and hit that like button on Facebook. Don't forget you can catch my daily weather forecast over on God's Country 90.9 FM and the classic, East Alabama's classic rock giant at 89.7. And those folks you see scrolling on the screen are our partners here on Dr. Don's Weather, like Mr. Jeff Monroe at the East Alabama Bee Company. If you own a business or if you're part of a civic organization, a city or county government, and you'd like to be a partner with us here on Dr. Don's Weather, all you have to do is send me a message on Messenger. I can have you started by the time we do our very next weather forecast, which, if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, will come first thing tomorrow morning right here on Dr. Don's Weather. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.